try and take out this section over here. Alright, get it at an idle. I'm going to bump in the PTO. Clutch in. PTO's engaged. Alright. My hearing protection on. Alright, 540. I see a design flaw right away. My guard chains are just a tiny bit too long. Blade tips are whacking them. Shooting up pretty good though. Taking out some bigger stuff like this by running over it with the wheel. I don't have a brush guard on the front of this thing. Going a really slow ground speed here just because I'm not used to this. Ready to make another pass in that big area right there. Cut that up nice in the first pass. Ruts here. See how it handles that. I also don't have to cut her all the way down yet. Woo! Dusty. Set the camera off while I make it. Well, I'm about to run out of video room again, but I dropped the cutter just a smidge more in the front, and that's the after. And that's pretty much like the before, so it seems like it's working pretty well. I did have the cutter a little too low, and when I got into a rut over here, it started digging into the dirt, bogged down a little bit, so I pushed in the clutch all the way to take the force off the PTO drive and brought the cutter up. Now if I had a loader on the front, I'd tackle that sucker. But I don't have anything on the front to push it over, and I don't want to ruin the tractor anymore. How about a little pine tree? That didn't work. Okay, this is day 2 of the brush hog testing. It was working really well. I ended up brush hogging until it got dark enough that I needed to put the headlights on to get back to the house. So it was enjoyable. Once I got a little more used to the machine and how it ran, I was able to increase my ground speed, and I got into the habit of using the range lever on the 1920 down here. Turns out that's much easier than having to deal with constantly shifting gears. So I could throw it into low range when I was going over something really big and chopping it up, and then throw it back up into high range when I wanted to go over some lighter stuff. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to head back out and do some more cutting, but first I want to do a couple things. I'm going to readjust that rear wheel. I want to drop the back down a little bit more, because right now you can see I've got, actually the front's on the ground, and you can see it's pretty high. So I'm going to drop that down just a little bit, and the other thing I got to do is I got to put some more fuel in, because I didn't have much fuel in there yesterday. So I picked up some fuel when I was out at work today, and now I'm home and I got more sunlight than I did yesterday, so I should be able to get some good drive time in. This is the area I was working on last night. This is where I started. I haven't moved the boat, so it kind of gives you an idea of where. Hardest part about that's not getting hit in the face. Alright, now I'm going to drop it to low, and I'm just going to cut a path right through here. A hawk up there. Anyway. That used to be a pine tree. couple more passes on this area and it's going to be history. Love the smell of pine in the morning. Smells like victory. Getting into some really heavy sumac now. Just basically driving over it, letting the cutter do its thing. It's bogging it down quite a bit. The RPMs are dropping down below 2,000 when I get into that heavy stuff, so then I push the clutch in and let the cutter catch back up. Got a little stuck to the front. Probably a good way to get a hole in your radiator. I'm glad I didn't buy a new one of these grills. I didn't do this damage. This was like this when I bought it, but I could see that that's what could happen pretty easily. Uh-oh. Wow. Wow, that's really stuck in there. That really wanted to get past that plate and go through my radiator. I'll have to shut it down to get that out. Well, this screen right here in front of the radiator is the only thing that was between my radiator fins and this about 4 or 5 inches of sumac that pushed its way up between the back of the battery tray and where this metal piece is here. Huh. Uh-oh, wife's calling. Well, the missus called and reminded me I got to pick up the kids for 5 o'clock, and it's like 8 minutes to 5. So it's a good thing she called, and it's a good thing I had the tractor off and heard the phone, because time flies when you're having fun. I didn't even realize it was that late already. So I got to break that stick off as quick as possible and boogie this thing back to the house, and jump in the truck and drive away. So that's it for today. But you get the gist of it. Seems to work pretty well. Nothing really looks like it's breaking on the cutter. My fancy plastic expensive shield is getting all scratched up. Oh. Alrighty.